Go for it.
I'm here. I'm ready.
All right. Welcome to Renovation Diaries, vlog number 2. Thank you, anybody who watched the first one. There's a couple of you. We really, really appreciate it.
There's a couple of you.
There's a couple of you. Today, what we're going to go through is kind of talk about the demo. You guys should have seen that video. If not, you can go check it out. We demoed our entire basement. We're going to reflect.
Oh, you posted it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're recording before we have posted it, but we have posted it before this.
I'm sorry.
Posted.
Just keep going. Just roll with it.
All right, we're just going to roll with it. We're not going to redo any reshoots, whatever. I think the goal of this is to be as unfiltered as possible.
So I could say something.
Yeah, and then we can't.
Misha's reaction.
And then we can't record it. And honestly, that's just me not wanting to edit a lot. I think that's what that's going to be. Mm-hmm. But so today we're going to just kind of talk briefly on that, on the demo process of it. We have some comments that you pulled out, right? We want to do some comments like with
Misha's afraid to read comments, so I'm the one who always reads comments on stuff. So we thought it'd be fun on the Renovating Diaries if I pull comments, good, bad, whatever it is, and kind of read some of them to Misha.
From these videos. So if you're going to comment on these videos, be it on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, we're like Catherine essentially is checking all those comments, and I'm
not checking all of them.
Why?
Because I check. Okay, I check for like the first hour because that's usually when like the good supporters are there.
What the?
In the wild.
What is happening?
But then after that, I don't check. After that, I don't check. He's going to go fix because the cameraman couldn't be here today. He had a little stomach bug.
There's a cat that just jumped on our table.
It's our cat. That's not a stray cat. Optimus Prime.
All right. So, demo day. We demoed this. We had some help. Alex was here to help us. My brother Taras was here. And essentially, whatever we got done was done in a day.
It was awesome. You guys kicked butt. I feel like demo's a lot of fun.
It is for the first hour.
Yeah, true. And then after you're like, all right.
But then after that is just like straight up grunt work. Essentially, there's no finesse to it. Really, there is like rhyme to it, like rhyme or reason to it, but there's really no finesse to it. So the entire basement or the demo that you guys have saw took us 6 hours.
Yeah, and we even had a lunch break. I mean, I wasn't doing too much demo. I was down here for a little bit, but
you were here for a little.
There was some stuff that was messy. Our kids tried to help out and all that. Yeah. But any surprises? You find any surprises?
Yes.
Good or bad?
Some really bad surprises, and that's why. So essentially, like when we're doing this stuff, like the scene that we want to set up is kind of what happened. And so you can see everything was demoed. That is not a brand new wall. That is.
I know that was super controversial. Your post.
That is a support wall.
People thought that was the final wall.
So basically, what happened is that wall right there. When we demoed it, everything underneath it, except like 2 to 3 studs, was rotten out.
Yeah,
everything.
You see the dirt, like straight dirt.
It's just was a combination of mice and just moisture, whatever was happening. The entire bottom of that wall, the outside wall, and on the top right there, so obviously that's a load-bearing wall because that's the house sits on it, and then our deck sits on that as well. So all that weight, all the way from the top, sits on those 3 studs.
It's kind of weird that like upstairs, that's like directly above that space is our living room. I don't really feel it, like how drastic this was out of what is it, level, plum? Whatever, peach, ripe?
I guess plum.
However out of whack it was, like we didn't notice, I at least didn't notice it upstairs. I don't know how that isn't.
It's just because those 3 studs held it up pretty well, but it would be one of those things where you would have like a catastrophic failure, where like once shit hits the fan, it just hits the fan. If there was too much like snow load, let's say on the deck or something,
and we've been clearing the snow off the deck because we knew that the deck is sketchy. We don't use it. It's not. We were told by inspectors too when we saw the house. Like
whatever. It's just like, why is this happening? And it was kind of weird. And the weirdest thing is also that you see where this insulation is right here. That is actual foundation. Concrete foundation.
Yeah, they
and then they stopped when they were building it. They stopped and then continued with wood, And then also where on this side where we have our sliding door, exact same situation.
The truck just ran out.
They just stopped. Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like they just ran out of concrete or something. But what I think is that it was the window. There's a lot of framing around it. It's like they probably did not want to make the forms for it or whatever, which is kind of a lame excuse. But I think that's really what happened. So now we have some options on how to fix it, and we have some ideas floating around, and that's basically what's going to be our big project for next week. Is what we want to do is work on that wall.
Is that really the project for next week?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't rewind. We're still trying to. I think we've come close to a layout, right?
We had a layout, perfect layout. It was going to work. We bought furniture for it already.
No,
we didn't. We didn't buy furniture for it. But it was done deal. That was the layout we were going to go with.
We were very excited.
Yeah, but then once we started demoing and opening everything up, this open concept kind of hit us because everything was demoed out and open, and now we're like, dang, are we really going to like put up walls and close everything back up?
It initially was like a in-law suite or a debate on that, and I think we were thinking, let's just keep it like that, but then we thought, like, wait a second, like, realistically for us, and even this isn't a huge house, like, even for future buyers or renters, whatever, like, it made more sense to make this a functional space for the one family that lives here than either have, like, an in-law suite or a renter in your basement. Like, it just didn't make sense. It wasn't big enough.
It kind of comes down to, are you building and renovating for yourself, or are you building and renovating for renters and things like that? And for us, honestly, the upstairs is like 800 square feet. So we are really looking forward to adding more square footage for our kids. And we didn't want to have, so our stairs are right there. So we didn't want to have walls. Like, we'd love to have just nice open field that the kids could just run around and play in the basement. And then they would feel kind of comfortable being down here without like all these walls. Because I know our 3-year-old would not be here by himself with all these walls and closed in and basically being in a different apartment. They wouldn't want to do that. But the way we're going to build it and construct this is that you can easily add like a little partition wall. And then if you really wanted to convert this into,
we don't care about other people. Remember we just said that?
I know, but I'm saying that as we're building it right now,
we're being mindful, yeah.
If somebody down the road is going to want to convert this into a in-law suite that they rent out to their in-laws, they're going to be able to they're going to be able to do that very, very easily. So basically what happened is that our plan that we had just got torpedoed, and now we have to start over with our design and kind of work with that.
We sent a design. We have a design. We already created a new one. However, we're not like I'm saying we already created a new one because we had to give something to the town. So that's something we could talk about. Is like, prior to demoing or whatever, you should really pull a permit, whether you're doing the plumbing or electrical yourself, at least a permit for it. Because then when they come to check, and like, as much as like we're very much do it ourselves, it doesn't look good when they come to inspect it and they see you did stuff that like wasn't, it just leaves a bad taste. And like, so what I've learned from pulling the permit is basements are pretty easy, as long, like, it gets complicated when you're adding square footage, a deck is complicated, yeah, when you're adding square footage or adding like a whole new plumbing that's not existing, or
for us this is considered a renovation because we already had a finished, full functional, town improved basement. Everything was there. So now we're just basically adding a renovation to it, and all they needed was just updated drawings of.
They needed the original layout and a drawing, and our proposed layout, and there's some rules like there needs to be an egress window or exit. If the whole basement is finished, I believe there needs to be 2 egress exits.
Yeah. I'm
not sure if I'm using that right, but like stairs count as 1, and then like a window or maybe 2 stairs or whatever.
For us, it should be pretty easy because we have basically the stairs coming down, and then we have the big sliding door. That's 2 egress things. If we were to close an area off, then that area, it basically becomes a bedroom. That area then needs an egress itself, either a large window or one of those like bunker window looking things.
Bunker windows?
Bunker.
What are bunker windows?
It's like those windows that have like the thing outside and like you can climb out of.
What? So like it's in the ground?
Yeah, it's in the ground.
Half in the ground. No, it just has a dome around it?
It kind of looks like a half a barrel thing.
I don't know if it's called a bunker window. But
it's called a bunker window. Google it.
We can yeah, I'm pretty sure if you Google that, something else might come up. Something more interesting than these windows.
Okay, I took some notes. As we were demoing, I'm like, I need to... Don't peep. Don't peeping. As we were demoing, I was like, all right, this is a cool thing or whatever. So layout ideas and then clear ceiling. So this entire basement before this had a drop ceiling. It was one of those frames with all the little pods or whatever.
Like at the dentist's office or something.
So it had drop ceiling, and my thing, obviously I didn't pop up every single one of them to check it out before we're demoing. So I wasn't sure what to expect. But once we demoed it, I mean, you guys can kind of see it right there. It was just clean. There's where the stuff's going to go, there's not a single pipe that's below it.
Yeah.
So when we're going to be installing drywall, we're just going to install drywall right onto the floor studs there, and we're going to gain almost 2 to 3 inches of what that ceiling was. Almost 4 inches.
2 to 3 inches is a lot.
In the basement, that is huge. So that was like one of the huge wins that I really liked. Also, the slab, we pulled up some of the stuff here. The slab is like mint. It's really, really nice. There's no cracks in it. It's dry. Yeah,
our inspector said that too. Like, I'm just trying to, like, I think we, like, for as older, maybe, this house wasn't maintained well. Our basement is pretty nice looking. It's messy, but it's pretty nice looking.
Yeah. There is, I guess, apparent mold that we found. Catherine found when you were pulling up the floor. Mm-hmm. It's grinds my gears. This, and honestly, we had a little bit of an argument about it. It's the asbestos stuff.
Well, I freaked out. Not everybody. Whoa, calm down.
In the comments.
Calm down. No. It was not in the comments. Someone actually DM'd us, and it was like, it wasn't, I don't think it was malicious. It was more like, it wasn't like, you're an idiot or you stupid ass, like freaking. No, it was more of like, hey, make sure. And we did our research. Luckily, the person that owned this house, actually, it's a cool, I guess, depending on who you ask, a cool story. The person that owned this house actually owned all the houses or the land, the houses around us on this dirt road. He owned all that land, and then he sold it off in the late 70s and then built this late 70s, 80, like I think 79 or something. But the basement was just considered a cellar. And then the actual apartment that we just demoed, I think, was added in the 90s based on the receipts we have. First of all, this entire house took $17,000 to build. There's a receipt upstairs.
Back in the day.
Like, wow. What? That's insane. But it had a 9% interest rate in the 90s when his daughter bought it from him. So, like, it's funny to see, right?
Seems like he stiffed his daughter pretty well.
I know. I don't think he controls interest rates.
9%? Jeez.
Yeah, that's what it was. And it's the same bank, Meredith. It's the same, one of the local banks in the area.
So, the whole asbestos thing, we posted online.
Ripping up the laminate.
Linoleum flooring, yeah. So
vinyl,
it's glued down, and
the glue is definitely sketchy. And like, we still have a little bit on the floor, and we definitely should be wearing masks when we rip it up and open the windows and have it ventilated.
But just like right away, getting those comments of just like, it could be asbestos, or like, and just like everybody goes so extreme. Well, like, I don't know.
Okay, like this is what happens with social media, is that people are only seeing a clip of something. So like, there's a lot of.
They need to know everything before they comment.
But they're not going to know everything because we only show them a portion.
I know. I don't know. It's
well, whoever did it, we appreciate it. Like,
I am not an asbestos expert and do not do what I do. It's just my disclaimer here. But
I talked to quite a few people. We're fine.
So to get the glue off, because there's glue on there from the freaking linoleum. So what we're going to do, we're going to wear a mask. We're going to put a bunch of water on the floor just to make it nice and sloppy and wet.
A mixture.
This way there is no dust, because that's the only problem, is dust inside your lungs from apparent, like if it was asbestos or anything like that. It's just, that's why if you ever see these remediation companies come in, they just spray everything down with water, so then it's wet, and then just bag everything. Again, I don't believe.
Either way, I bought an asbestos test and tested it anyways. So.
When?
Yesterday. 3-day turnaround, Amazon.
Oh, so you don't have the results yet?
I don't have the results yet. That's why we haven't scraped it up.
We don't run tests like that.
We 100% run tests
without talking. It's like running a pregnancy test and not keeping the other person in the loop. Because what if it is, and now we have to deal with it?
I know.
It's literally like, I know, and it's almost better not to have known.
So and that, then have, like, years down the road, you'd be like, why do my chest hurt?
Whose baby is this walking around over there?
We are trying our best to do things the right way, Misha, because you're, like, you're putting this out there in some ways to be criticized, but also we're trying to do it the right way so that people can learn from it.
Yeah.
In a safe way, Mikhailo.
Yeah, I know. But then it's just people project what they wish they were doing at home, or they wish that they would do, I think. Because, like, some of the stuff, like, that people do at home is just, like, worse than, like, whatever. I'm not even going to go down that route.
You're digging the hole. Dig it.
No, I hit the bad rock.
You got to get out. You got to get out quick.
What I'm going to do this week is
goals for this week.
Goals for this week is I want to put out so this wall, I want to figure out how to fix it. I don't know what we're going to do in the basement. We're going to nail down our layout for the basement.
We have to order windows.
And then go from there. We
have to damn windows. I'm so
windows.
Pissed.
Those are 4 weeks or 5 week turnaround.
Why is that not a big deal for you?
There's so much other stuff to do.
We have our electrician. We have to get him to come out.
Yeah.
Do that.
The biggest thing and the most annoying and not worst thing, but the biggest thing that we have to do is our taxes. We're doing on Monday. So like this whole week, the demo took a.
Misha really stresses about taxes. It's very weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, you like.
Al Capone went to jail because of taxes, Cal.
All right. Anyways, so our goals for the basement by the next diary
Renovation Diary vlog
will be what?
To have our taxes done on Monday. This way it's all set up.
The floor is cleaned up, so all the remaining glue that we haven't touched yet will be done. We'll figure out the plan for this wall because we have a few options on how to rebuild it. We're playing around with ideas.
If you guys have ideas, comment down below. We'll definitely
not just a 2x4 wall. Like maybe you have another thought.
Yeah, so here's some of the ideas that we have, I guess, is to either put block there, so continue off of this wall that's concrete already, and then just do everything block with a cement block. Then your dad had an idea of kind of going up maybe 2 feet with block, and then continuing everything up with wood, because wood is easier to work with around
the
windows and the big door and all that stuff. But I want to avoid having this issue again down the road 20 years, 10 years from now with the rod at the bottom. So
you think the steel framing?
Steel framing? Yeah, but then you still have to sheathe it, which means like you still have to cover the walls with something, and then you would be ending up covering it with plywood. And that just kind of gets back to like obviously the framing would be better, but the sheathing or the plywood
the water could still.
Yeah, so I think I want to do block. I want to waterproof that with the tar crap.
The black stuff.
Yeah, and then the bottom would be done. I think that's how I want to do it. But
if someone else has an idea.
But I have never done that before in my life, so.
So why not try it on the house we're living in?
Exactly. Well, that's going to be my point. Because I can already foresee so many people are going to be like, bro, just hire a pro. No, I want to learn this shit. Like, I want to learn how to do this stuff. It's just so frustrating. It's like I am.
You never know when he's going to have to build another foundation wall.
I'm 31 years old.
Are you?
It's
a heater. That's our heater.
Oh, my God. I'm like, what is that noise? I'm 31 years old. I'm going to build another block wall somewhere down the line, and I want to learn how to do it, like here and now, and just start somewhere. And that's the whole point of what we're trying to document, is trying to do it yourself. So we're DIYing it, and we're going to learn as it goes. And just hire somebody out is just to escape, like...
That's not true. Don't say that. Some people...
I'm saying that the comment of saying, like, oh, just hire somebody, I don't like it. Because I want to, like...
Misha's not a quitter.
Huh? Not a quitter. It's just more like I want to learn this stuff.
We enjoy doing. Some people don't enjoy this. I have very good friends that don't enjoy this. You know who you are, and that's okay.
Don't enjoy what, the building stuff?
Yeah, building, DIYing. Like it's not their thing. Like if the money's there, like sure, and you don't want to do it, like you're not passionate or you don't find it exciting, then great. Like more power to you. But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, honey. Okay.
I know. I understand. It's just. I want to give you guys the option of learning how to do it yourself. Plus, I'm hoping that our audience more or less is DIYers, I guess, in this space who would be doing this stuff.
Okay, you want me to read these comments?
Let's do a couple comments.
I only have 2.
Literally couple.
Oh, no.
Where is this from?
This is from Instagram, this guy, Kevin Proc. Right when this is his comment. Right when this started, I thought she had no arms. If you go back and watch the first, I'm wearing black, and for some reason I'm like this, because who fucking knows? I move my arms when I'm nervous. It literally looks like I have no arms. Like I was
you were just kind of wobbling too.
No, I was just like sitting like this, so it was like, and I'm sure for someone to just look at it like
quickly, yeah,
they're like, whoa, what's happening here? This is great. Some people said that was really nice. Oh, this is a good one. Does anyone get the feeling that Catherine is the logical one?
Absolutely not.
You know what I find funny about this video is like it'll be interesting to see how people watch us like adapt to certain situations, because like it's gonna be hard for me to keep my composure during certain situations. Where people think I'm like such this like logical one. You know, once we get to like designing and stuff, you just wait. Okay. Someone said they want to see the actual building. They don't care about us talking.
Somebody said that?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Savage.
They don't have to watch. Okay, this one I loved. I really like this one because I really feel like he was like just speaking like respectfully, constructively.
What's the name? Let's give a shout out.
Jorge.
My man Jorge.
Absolutely love this. Super vulnerable. Essentially, this is a diary. Misha and Catherine, WINNI has been okay for me. Not my favorite, but you guys are popular, so I watch it. But this would be fun to see how you budget things. Talk about how much money you have and why this is being used by Windows, for example. So I really like that. And I will say something I'd love to try to do, that's it for comments, is try to be as transparent as we are with budget and being and also making sure it's comfortable for us.
Yeah, I think as long as we're just talking about cost of materials, that's it. Like, I mean,
what else would we talk about?
Well, no, because people will say, well, how much would that cost? Labor,
well, we don't know.
You know what I'm saying? But that stuff, it's just impossible. Like the trailer, the dumpster that we ordered was $698.
$698.
$700. Dropped off, picked up,
for
20-yard dumpster. This entire basement fit right into it.
So the reason why we did it that way is because we have a in the town we live in New Hampshire, you bring your garbage to the DOT. We have some dumpster pickups, but not everywhere. So we kind of did the math with the truck and the trailer. We'd probably do at least 4 to 5 trips at $100, and you still have to drive over there. So we're like,
it's just the time, and like we had like my brother for help, and Alex. I was just like, let's get this efficient and only loading it once. Basically, we're lost or paid extra about $100, and to me it just felt like, all right, that's really not that bad. Plus, they just pick it up and boom, you're done. So
and half the reason why it only took us, half a day or almost a full day was because we had the dumpster instead of you guys loading up, going to the dumpster, having to empty the stuff out, and then drive back.
It's a huge process, and this would have taken 2 days. And so as cost goes, yes, we're definitely going to share the price of our windows, the price of whatever we're doing.
Try our best to be.
Yeah, material cost, we'll do that. And that's another reason why I don't want to just hire somebody out to basically do the block and that type of stuff, or however to fix that. I just like challenges of like brain kind of challenges, and to fix that. And hopefully one day we can be your favorite construction.
Yeah, Jorge.
Construction creators. This one's for you, Jorge. We're gonna make it work. I don't know. It's like we're fortunate enough where we can kind of take our time with it and document this process and not have to rush it. So we'll definitely try to do our best when we're doing it. And that's the point of these diaries. It's not to talk the technical little details. It's more or less kind of talking about the process of it. And that's something I feel like we want to get better at. Mm-hmm. I want to get better at these long conversations with you. And
yeah?
Yeah.
You like having long conversations with me?
Yo, when I get this girl trapped in a car for 5 hours when we're driving to New York
I hate it.
To visit my parents.
He knows.
And the kids pass out in the back.
He gets so excited.
He's
like,
talk.
Catherine, I have this idea.
Catherine, what is your 5-year plan?
And I can't escape. There's no way out.
No. You just pretend to fall asleep sometimes. And I'm like, hey.
I do pretend to fall asleep.
Come back to me.
No, we have some good conversations in the car.
I know. It's like we enjoy it. It's so that, and then during the week though is when we're going to be putting out those shorts. We're going to be putting out all the other stuff on how to actually do the little details in the process of doing the stuff. Let's say for the wall, that's going to be its own dedicated video on how to build that wall. But then we're going to talk about it like this. I don't know.
He's really excited about building this wall. Clearly,
I've thought about it for a week now. And again, it's just this taxes stuff. I have to put it together. Because then we go to an accountant. If you guys are doing your own business, you're running your own business that has more than one stream of income, you have to use an accountant. I would strongly suggest using an accountant. They know so many things that you don't know. It's like trying to self-medicate versus going to a doctor. No, seriously, it is literally that. Self-medicating versus going to a doctor. But obviously if you just have like one source of income and it's very easy for you to kind of get all that stuff done.
It's a good idea to use an accountant if you're self-employed.
But for us, it's just because of the social media stuff, with all our projects that we have going on. It's just there's a bunch of moving parts that I get so overwhelmed by that definitely having an account that we had almost for 10 years really, really helps to just put everything together. And
maybe you shouldn't have bought those 2 vanities, and then you would be overwhelmed.
I did not buy them.
Sorry, they were free on the road.
I found the one on the side of the road said free on it.
And then he went and talked to the people inside, and they tried to sell it. He said, "Oh, you should take this one too."
Not sell. I knocked on it, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to be renovating this."
You knocked on the
door. On their front door. I knocked on the front door, and I said,
"I thought you meant on the
for somebody who has no idea what the hell we're talking about, I was driving by on the road, saw this old vanity, and it said free on it. There was a poster on it that said free.
It was a dress. It's not a vanity. It's a dresser that it will 100% be a kick-ass vanity.
I saw it. I'm like, I am picking this thing up. It's kind of small. It was like about 30 inches. I go knock on their door, on the door of the homeowner. Like, hey, I'm going to pick that thing up. It's cool. Do you have any story about it? Like, any backstory that I can pass on after I renovate it and sell it? After I renovate it, sell it, or put it somewhere. And then they were like, oh, my God, that's so cool. Like, you're going to do that. It's kind of like, I don't know, old school way of doing stuff, I feel like. Talking to people. And then they were so, like, they told me it was from like, Binghamton, New York. It was given from,
Binghamton.
Binghamton, New York was given from the grandparents of these older people who were already probably in their 60s. So I'm like, this thing's 100 years old. Bang.
Quick math.
And then, like, obviously. And then they're like, hey, we have another thing that we're trying to get rid of. And then this is like a 46-inch honker of a dresser.
That's a big dresser.
But that's going to be a sick, like, master bedroom type of vanity that we're going to also renovate. And this is going to be our own little project. So,
I like how you said R.
Yeah, last week we ended up with two.
Yeah. No, I'm starting a garden. So you can work on your vanities. I'm going to work on my garden.
That's all cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog number 2. We'll see you guys on the next one. If you have any questions, you want to be featured on these vlogs, please leave them down below.
That's it.
See you on the next one.
I'm going to have some snacks.
Do you have snacks?
Not really.
Dang it.
We have some fruit. We're trying to eat.
We're going to eat some grapes.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace.